freaking internet just snapped out on me. And I got dogs that are losing their damn minds. I'm going to try to do this here. Try to call these guys back. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all starting to file in. It's part 2, I guess, of this conversation. We're going to try to do that. This is redonkulous. And I'm going to try this here and see if I can get these guys back. Because I honestly have no idea what happened. The internet just completely shut out, just so you all know. So bear with me as I try to get things back up and in line again. Have mercy. So this is part 2, y'all. If you guys are watching. See, I got dog. You hear that? Dogs in the background losing their damn minds and stuff. I'll probably grab some of the dogs so you guys can see them again. But because I don't know if you guys can see any of this. What's up? We're back. We're live still. I don't know what the hell happened. But it's crazy. Yeah. See, Panda, these dogs are just losing their damn minds, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm going to grab one of them here so that it can calm down, because there's one of them that's just acting, just tripping hella hard. But everybody's back. T even had a chance to do a costume change. You know what I'm saying? An outfit change. You know what I'm saying? For his next act, he will. But
that was crazy.
I don't know what happened. Like, it was just like everything was going good. We were humming. You know what I mean? Flying down the road, doing what we do best. And then all of a sudden, bloop, total just shut us off. They don't want us to talk about these things. That's what it is. I'm talking about they don't want us to talk about these things. This is the most annoying dog in the history of dogs. They're cute little puppies, man. I'm telling you, real talk, but they annoying as hell. Somebody just said it's Amazon. Amazon's watching, so they shut us down. We ain't Parlor, though. Just because I did a little Mr. Bojangles doesn't mean trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to advocate any. You're right, Kiss. That could be it. They may have thought that. No, but literally, like, my whole internet stopped. Internet stopped working for like 5 minutes. For however long I was gone for. Just lost its damn mind. But what were you saying, David? You were in the middle of saying something very profound. So go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry, man. That was not intentional. That was not my way of telling you to shut the hell up. That was not my way of saying shut the hell up. Okay? So continue, please. Please continue what you were saying, bro.
I'm not even sure at what point it cut out, so.
You know what?
Did you hear? I don't know.
You know what? Now I've lost complete train of thought. To be honest, I don't remember. We were talking about Ali Alexander and how the fact that he's out on a lamb and all that. And all of a sudden, he's just, he's sitting there going, F you, F these people, F people who think Christians can't curse, F fat people. Like, he said all this. He was fat shaming, and I don't know. It was a smattering of different things. But go ahead, David. What are your thoughts on that? This whole situation. Oh, we were talking about Alex Jones. That's what we were doing.
Okay, so we're at that point. All right.
You were talking about Alex Jones, yeah.
Both him and Alex Jones were involved with coordinating this entire event to some degree. Alex Jones himself claimed that the White House had, some degree of cooperation with them, and that's from Alex Jones himself, not Alexander. Alexander goes on. He keeps going on to say that I don't know if you heard me talk about when he's been having a lot of previous like rallies where he does say things uh, like we don't throw bricks yet, not yet, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And okay, so it seems like he has had a lot of common threats throughout his rallies, just kind of glib about them. But like, it's the kind of stuff where he doesn't directly say it, but you still know exactly what he's talking about. And I'm really not too sure how much, if how much truth there is to this working with the White House thing. I haven't heard much more about it, and like I said, it was Alex Jones that said that. He has, as far as I know, he hasn't talked more about it. Alexander himself hasn't said anything about whether or not the White House was involved. But he went on to say that he doesn't think he's guilty. And maybe scroll down to his exact words here. Okay, he goes on to say, "I don't disavow this. I do not disavow this. Denounce this. Sorry. This is completely peaceful. It looks like so far." And he goes on to say that I think people should be rowdy. I think people should be messy. I do believe that we own the U.S. Capitol, so I'm not apologizing for nothing. And so he seems to think that what went on there, he doesn't seem to consider it as a form of violence, but a form of protest. Though there were several deaths, just to remind everyone. Alex Jones seems to have immediately separated himself from Alexander, however. So they split up pretty quickly. I think maybe Alexander was the wrong kind of crazy for Alex Jones. I'm not sure. But
it's a possibility, though. It's a possibility. Yeah. Or he's just tired of hearing his voice. You know what I mean? Imagine.
Yeah, it could be that, too.
Just hearing this voice all the time. I mean, I'd be really annoyed with it. It's like gravel. Sorry.
Yeah. And it sounds like he's done a lot of questionable protests in the past and making harsh statements about other people in the country. Generally, he has had this kind of victory or death mentality, it seems, and he's like championed that. That's one of the things they yelled at the rally, at the January 6th rally, victory or death chant, and that was like one of his main things, apparently, going on there. But obviously, he's in hiding now. It sounds like he's the one that might have actually been behind. If there was a plan to actually riot at the Capitol and it wasn't just people getting worked up after Trump's speech, it seems like he would be the one that would be involved in that, because he seems to suggest there's a lot of organization involved and that he was a key part of it. I mean, you heard in the video where he said something like he thinks he's smart or whatever. And so he's like the center of the whole gathering here, but he still doesn't seem to. Like I said, he doesn't think it turned violent. He seems to think that the degree of the degree they did express it in was appropriate in that case. Though obviously he's in hiding, so other people don't agree with him. But I guess we're going to see where we come from. He's definitely one of the people, by his own words, that believes in the deep state and that they're part of the conspiracy out to get him, apparently, along with these witches. He specifically says Wiccans as well, which are, it's a fairly modern religion.
So, I mean, then maybe Azalea Banks was digging up the cat for a reason. You know what I mean? You never know. Maybe. I mean, shoot. You know what I mean? Maybe she was doing something for us. You know what I mean? Helping us out. I don't know. You know, it's just, the whole thing is just crazy. The whole scenario, the whole situation is just absolutely nuts. And the fact that the guy is on the lam right now is hilarious to me. He's an outlaw. You know what I mean? T, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Trying to figure out what's going on, like, with reality.
You're muted, dude.
No, you're good now, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with, for reality, real life versus movies. Are we living in a movie right now? It feels like we're in a movie, all of us. That's what it feels like.
Oh boy, yeah.
I don't know.
It's nuts.
Every day, what's going on? It's like things are just backwards, upside down. It's weird.
It is weird. He doesn't even know how to fathom. He doesn't even know how to consume, really fully take in this story. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But you got Sammy Davis Jr. doing something like this. Go ahead.
Just imagine trying to explain to children what's going on. You can't. You can't.
Yeah,
They're like, what's
yeah,
it's scary.
You a dad, so I understand what you're trying to say right now, because it's like a lot of the kids. I'm sure your daughter is probably going, "Hey, what the hell?" She's not going, "Daddy, what the hell is going on?" But she, she's going, "Why are you watching? What's going on TV? What's going on?" And you try to explain it to her. It's like reading The Princess Bride to her. You know what I mean? It's like it's a long story. It's a story. You know what I mean? It's quite an action-packed story. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Go ahead, real quick.
It looks like so far that one of the senators or one of the representatives is the only one to have responded. It was Briggs, Andy Biggs. Sorry, not Briggs. Biggs said, one of the spokespersons said that they aren't aware of a hearing or meeting with Mr. Alexander at any point, and that he had no contact with protesters or rioters.
Of course, deny.
Representatives haven't said anything yet, as far as I can tell.
Of course, deny, and deny some more. Of course. And especially, this is a perfect situation. What do you see? You see this dude who's absolutely freaking bonkers. He's clearly insane. He's clearly not all with us. He's taking video and he's sitting there. He is fat shaming overweight human beings, overweight people. In a post, as he's sitting there on the lam, he's going, F you, F fat people. Like, what is that? He's putting all this time to say this crazy stuff. And right now, all the evidence, all that stuff makes him look insane. So when the Biggs or any other congressman that were maybe really a part of it, this is a perfect opportunity to go and say, don't you see this guy's crazy? Don't you see that this guy is not fully 100% cognizant of what he's doing? He doesn't even know what he's doing right now. He's insane. When probably they went in some weird alley and said, follow the money. You know what I'm saying? You never freaking know. This dude is crazy. So Andy Biggs, Mo Brooks, and Paul Gosar, Gosser or whatever. Shoot, you got a lot of explaining to do. Okay, Lucy? We got to go into this next story, and this is something that I found very interesting. And I think this is hilarious. Oh, we got to look at this one. This is what I'd like to call hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yes, a rioter seen carrying zip ties in the Capitol was turned in by his ex-wife. This is so good. This is too good, baby. All right, so I got the story over here because I'm not signed into Instagram over here. So the story is as follows. The rioter who is seen in the U.S. Capitol carrying zip ties has been arrested after his ex-wife called authorities after seeing him on the news. On Sunday, former Air Force combat officer Larry Randall Brock of Texas was apprehended by FBI agents after agreeing to meet with them at Grapevine's police station. The 53-year-old was charged with 2 federal counts of knowingly entering a restricted building without lawful enter, and 1 count of violent entry and disorderly conduct. While Brock's arrest affidavit indicates that several people turned him in after seeing him on the news, it was his ex-wife of 18 years, who reported him to the FBI. Damn. Another person reported Brock after recognizing his tattoos. So then he was banging that person. Another person. Come on, think about it. I got some best friends dudes that are my best friends. I don't see their I've seen their tattoos, but I wouldn't sit there and go, yes, there's a curvature there. No, that's another woman. That's most definitely another woman. According to the affidavit, Brock's ex-wife was not surprised that her former boo was in attendance at the violent riot. I just know that when I saw this was happening, I was afraid he would be there, Brock's ex-wife allegedly told the FBI, adding, I think you already know he was there. Know he was there. It's such a good picture, and I recognize his patch. Brock can be seen wearing multiple patches on his chest during the raid. Yeah, he wore his patches. He wore his badges basically on himself. Like, none of these people came thinking ahead of time. Like, if this was a murder scene, their fingerprints the DNA and their fingerprints would have been all over the murder scene. You know what I mean? And they would have walked over to the security camera saying, "I did it. My name is Brock. I live off of such and such." You know what I mean? These guys are crazy. Last Saturday, Brock confessed to the New Yorker that he was pictured inside the Senate chamber sporting a green helmet and body armor. During his interview, Brock justified his participation in the riot because he believed that the election was stolen, resulting in Joe Biden being elected elected the next president. As for the zip ties, Brock claims that he located them on the ground.
Yeah, right.
Facts. Exactly. He had them on him. Him and a lot of other people.
Trash and carry it with you during the middle of a raid.
Word. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to see something that you know for a fact is going to hurt a lot of people, once you go and just throw it in the trash or toss it somewhere that no one can get their hands on, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. If you're going to go, oh, they might be using this to hurt people. Let me throw this away. You know what I'm saying? Like, use your brains. Your brains, y'all. You knew for a fact that you were going to hold on to them just in case you saw somebody that was of importance, some elected official that you can use to string them up. As Alex Jones would say, I'd string him up and just, I'll gut him. I don't care. I'll eat his flesh. Crazy, guys. But like I said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, baby. It was an ex-wife that got his ass. I love it. I think it's hilarious. It is too damn good. What did he do? That's what I want to know. What did he do to said ex-wife that she would sit there and snitch on his ass? You know what I'm saying? You think that people would separate in a good way? You know what I mean? And make sure that you still have your ride or die. You feel me? But no, she's just like, that's my ex-man. Go ahead, get his ass. T, what do you think of this, man?
She is mad that he didn't cuff her up in the bedroom. That's why she's mad. Hold up, who those cuffs for? They ain't for me. She's pissed right now.
Who the hell are all these zip ties for? You know what I mean? All of a sudden, she remembers everything. You know what I mean? Man,
it's just a nightly government orgy, and he got confused.
We got a culprit coming in, infiltrator coming in. What's up? How you doing, sweetheart? She can't hear us. Hi. She's beautiful.
Thanks.
She's a great distraction. David, what are your thoughts on this story? Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much the same, man. I don't know.
It's funny as hell to me, man. This story's funny.
Yeah, I mean, he probably did piss her off somehow. I mean, she wouldn't be his ex-wife otherwise. I mean, even still, I guess turning him in as your ex-husband is still something I wouldn't have expected. So he probably did piss her off really bad in the past.
That is true. Definitely, that was payback like a mug. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful payback because she probably is feeling really good about herself right now. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I did good for the month. I did my good deed for the month. Now I could just be greedy. You know what I'm saying? That's for not paying child support on time. Something crazy. We got to jump into this next story. This is also a crazy one. Okay, you guys remember when I was watching the live stream of Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer was making a press briefing out in the middle of the street, right? And during the thing, he got interrupted. He got randomly interrupted by how do I say this? By a transgender gypsy woman of color, yet she Caucasian as But moving on. Remember when I was sitting there going, man, I wish I saw another angle of this thing? Well, We got to look at the video on the other side. This is too good not to see. Let's take a look.
I am glad I didn't think that the Trumpsters had it in them. I didn't think the conservatives did. But you know what? You racist socialists can dish it out, but you can't take it. And remember this.
So I just want to make it sure, like, I want to make this abundantly clear. This woman's definitely, most definitely a Trump supporter. I just want to make that abundantly clear, because in the first time we saw it live, I was like, is she a Trump supporter? What is this? What's going on? What is she saying? Now we have the audio.
Adolf Hitler was a socialist, and that's exactly who you follow.
She's a conservative.
You're nothing but a coward. Seeing you hide underneath your desk, I actually got sexually excited over it. That's how much I loathe you. That's how much I'm glad what they did. And like Nancy Pelosi said,
she got
after all, she
dropping
doesn't care
bars.
about monuments, and neither do I. And we're in the First Amendment.
She's so angry the shades pop off her face. The other thing is she said that she loathes him so much that she's sexually aroused. She did say that. I'm not kidding. What do you say?
She let her inside voice out, and she wasn't supposed to let it out right then because that's the whole thing. She just got sexual frustration over Chuck Schumer, apparently. That's why she's angry.
She's literally saying, I hate you so much that I'm horny. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to continue.
That you have to protest peacefully and politely. As long as there's outbreak and unrest in our hearts, there's going to be unrest in these streets. I don't give a shit whether you believe it. You're nothing but a cracker.
We don't care about him. Go back.
You are is a racist cracker. You can dish it out. Look, you got
She literally said racist C word. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
protection. Why don't you tell them to stand down, hypocrite? Did you tell the Capitol Police to stand down? Did you tell them to stand down? Answer the question. No, stand down. He told the police to stand down in Kenosha, Seattle, Portland, Chicago, Boston, New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco.
Atlanta got them girls with them Daisy Dukes. Okay, moving on.
And you know what? These Trump supporters are going to go to your house. They're going to go to Pelosi's house. They'll destroy her vineyard. And I will be right there to support them. Don't you say it's enough? No, shut up. Shut up.
Smackdown.
Oh my God. And that's not the whole thing. That's not the whole rant. You know, that's not the whole tirade and like just belligerent birdshot of words. That's not the end of it. There's more. This is just all I got right here.
I mean, she wasn't wrong about the vandalizing Pelosi's house because that's what happened. Both McConnell and Pelosi's houses got vandalized and looted by local people and spray painted that they were both terrible people. So she's partially right. I don't know if Schumer got any of that too, but
no, she's saying that they're going to go back. They're going to go back and destroy McConnell, Pelosi's, and Schumer's. Or I think she said McConnell in there. Like I said, it's a tirade. It's like a tidal wave of just bird shot. You know what I'm saying? Of words. Just, you know what I mean? I mean, she literally said, I hate you so much, I'm sexually aroused. I despise you so much, I want to bang you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Then she later on, after that, she says, I am a transgender gypsy woman, therefore I am a minority. Yeah. She said, I am a minority. Yeah. Yeah. We watched this live. The fam watched this ish with me live. It was live.
This is wild.
And that really came out that woman's mouth. But that woman was a supporter of Trump, for sure. Absolutely.
This sounds like Carson Tucker when he was on Fox ranting, saying that Black Lives Matter when it comes to the suburbs, with guns.
Mm-hmm. He's like, watch out.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah.
They're coming for you. BLM is coming for you. Watch out. And it's like, excuse me? No, they're not. But they kind of are, but not. Stupid.
It's pretty much what we see every time. Like, they show up in front of one of these like politicians and just start yelling at them. They get angry and just kind of stop making sense after a certain point, or saying things that they probably shouldn't say or even mean, like getting turned on by hating Schumer. I just think that's funny.
She
Maybe
literally.
I just think she's confused. That's all.
I hate you
She
so
loves
much.
Schumer and doesn't know it.
I hate you so much. I'm sexually aroused. I despise you. Something like that. She said, I despise you, or I hate you so much. I am sexually aroused. How does that even work? How does that even work?
That's some like gangster, like jailhouse lingo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody in jail hates somebody, gonna rape them. That's like the same kind of talk.
Yeah.
She's like a dog. She wants to put her dominance in place.
Basically. Wow. Good point, y'all. That's really effed up. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Wow. Well, they'll be interesting. Reagan Bites, I am reading the comments, and this is not BS, but thank you. So, yeah, that's another thing. That's the other thing and another thing. By the way, do we have any updates about the vote on the 25th Amendment, if it's going down or not?
Okay, so they're on the second of the votes. They agreed to hear about the 25th Amendment. Right now, they're voting on if their next vote will be binding on Pence to actually remove Trump. So right now, they're still counting votes on whether or not enacting the Article 25 will matter, and then they'll decide Article 25 after that. Because right now, they can tell Pence to enact Article 25, and he doesn't have to do it. Right now, they're looking at rule change. Right now, they're voting on rule changes to change that. The previous vote that finished about 20 minutes ago was on whether they'd even hear the 25th or not. So it's at the halfway point, basically. It'll probably be another hour or two, and they should mostly have votes on the final part of whether or not they are going to ask Pence to enact the 25th. But depending on how this vote goes, that might not even matter. Right now, it's 222 yays for the rule change and 204 nays for the rule change. So it is looking like it might develop into them forcing Pence to actually enact the 25th.
Oh, so if they say yay,
what the rest goes.
So there's a possibility for yay. So there's a strong possibility for yay, and then I don't know. For me, it sounds like Kanye's about to show up. I'm gonna let you finish. But yeah, that's really interesting that this is where we're at, and the 25th. I just feel like everything's too late. I just personally think everything's too late. Like, this all went down way too late for it to even go down. I don't know. To me, it's like it's just a waste of like energy and space. The only reason why I could see them going, hey, maybe we can do this, invoke the 25th or impeach his ass, is so that he doesn't run again, so that we don't have to relive this in 4 years. That's the only thing that's the only reason I can see a future of this actually happening. That's it. That's all I can. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
About in 4 years, he'd be 80 years old with some change, right? He's not going to run in 4 more years. There's no way.
He might. He's crazy. But he's crazy. You know, him dead by that time.
There's no way.
Or him dead. He goes into his dark hole called the Trump Tower and just wastes away. That's a possibility too. I'm not sitting here saying that he's going to do that, but I mean, half of the nation, let's just say, half of the nation is going to shun him as soon as he gets out of office. Shoot, there are people passing something. Let me read this. This is very interesting too that I saw. Let me grab this. This is about his name. And this could mess him up. Real talk. Let me grab this. Hold up. Where is it? Where is it? So allegedly, lawmakers are trying to unveil a bill that ensures that nothing is named after Trump. So a California Democrat rep, Linda Sanchez, plans to unveil a bill that will ensure that nothing will be named after Trump. The legislation will ban Trump's name from being placed on everything from airports to park benches. I don't believe, and they said, I don't believe that a seditious occupant of the White House should ever have anything named after him, Sanchez told People magazine on Monday. Trump continues to spread the false, stolen election, quote unquote, narrative to his supporters. I am working on a bill that would mean that nothing, not even a bench, no airport, no highway, no school, nothing ever bear the name of this traitor. There's a lawmaker trying to pass a bill so that his name will never be on a building or anything ever again. So and that's a stretch. That's most definitely a stretch. But if that is a successful move, he will be shunned. Remember what I said, I think this morning or yesterday. The one thing a man has, the only thing a man has, is his rep. The only thing a man has is their name and being able to leave a legacy. And if that type of bill actually gets passed, imagine what will happen to Donald Trump. His legacy would just crumble to the ground. Everything that his name is stamped on, all those big buildings, all those airplanes, everything, games, Monopoly, T-shirts, everything gone.
There has been, in fact, a devaluation of Trump's properties in general has been estimated. That also the Trump brands have drastically started to reduce their income, and by Trump brands, I mean all their subsidiaries as well, like clothing and perfume and everything else, because he's involved in a lot of things. He's diversified through all kinds of manufacturing and production.
A lot.
Yeah.
You remember you said something, and this is a complete left turn, but there's a lot of people that are losing a lot of money everywhere. Even Twitter lost like $5 million because they kicked Trump off. They'll be fine. But at the same time, you got somebody that a lot of people, the general public, let's just say the mainstream media trend right now is looking at Trump like he is the H word. I mean, let's be real. I'm sorry, really quick. When was the last time you saw a building named after Hitler? Don't worry, I'll wait. When was the last time you saw a game named the Hitler game? When was the last time you saw a highway named after the H-man? Just saying. They're going to instantly put his name next to that man, and next to Trump is going to be synonymous to that name. Trump and Trump shirts, MAGA hats, all that stuff, 1776, all those things are going to be looked at like that. All those things will be symbols of hate and will be ostracized, will be banned in places. Imagine that. What were you going to say, David?
Yeah, I was going to say that there are some problems I see with this, that it might not get passed simply because the Trump name is pretty ambiguous in that it's part of his whole family, and they can't really condemn his whole family and their name for what he did, even if they were partially involved. So I'm not really sure how far that's going to go, because you can't really ban someone's name, I don't think. Now, you might be able to ban some of his specific trademarks or whatever. But like for instance, would Ivanka Trump's stuff that's called Trump fall under that? Because it still says Trump, but it's hers technically. You don't necessarily know which one it even refers to. So that's why I just don't see it being very practical.
Then everything
But-
would be called Ivanka.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's a unique name. Everybody would know it. Just think about it. It's not like she's putting Ivanka on the side of a house. I'm sorry, on the side of a building. You know what I mean? Her line of business is not the same as Trump. And I don't think after this, if it turns down this route, if it goes down this road, which it might not be. You know what I mean? It may not be. But it may go down that route of her last name being, she might have to lean on Kushner and not Ivanka Trump anymore. Just saying.
It's not really I just don't like that idea even.
I don't like the idea either. I mean, but at the same time, if it keeps going down this route, because you never know what he's going to do after. You never know what he's going to do after he steps down. He might just go off somewhere and just disappear, which I hope he does. I hope he just peacefully just goes somewhere and just, enjoys his life.
It's hard for him to enjoy his life if he's not the center of attention. He's always been the man who walked into a room and it was all about him.
True.
So it was hard for him to just disappear. People like that, we see those people. They don't just disappear. There's always something major that's going to continue to happen. Did you hear that someone was protesting to edit out Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
Since he wouldn't be in it anymore.
Yeah, they're trying to edit him out of that. I mean, I just think that there's certain things like, okay, if they were to literally, like, just going back on the topic real quick, if I'm not sitting here saying that they should do that. I'm not sitting here saying that they should. I don't think they should cut him out of a movie. I mean, he was in a movie. Like, look at every single movie that Kevin Spacey's ever done. Or any movie that any other person that has done a heinous crime or a vicious crime. Shoot, O.J. Simpson. I'm sorry, but he did it. So, Naked Gun 2.5, all those movies that he's done, all of them. He's still in the movies. He hasn't been cut out. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that he should be taken out of historical or like classic things. And even so, I don't think he should not be able to use his name, to brand things. But I don't think it's going to have the same type of power like it used to. This presidency, unfortunately, really jacked him up, in my personal opinion. I'm just saying, like, Wednesday really messed him up, messed his image up really bad, really, really bad. To the point where you got people, and I mean, yeah, you got Fox News they're ride or die for the most part. They're going to defend as much as they can. There's going to be some hardcore conservatives that are still supporting him and that still have his back no matter what, ride or die. But there's a lot of other people that are Trump supporters that instantly suddenly got a bad taste in their mouth for Trump when Wednesday went down. Not even the speech. Forget the speech. After. The speech is not something is nothing we haven't heard before. His birdshot version of a speech, of him just up there talking for an hour and 15 minutes of just bull. Then he gets off the stage and then everybody goes crazy. I mean, to me, for a lot of Trump supporters that maybe not be as passionate as the people that were on the front steps of the Capitol building, a lot of them lost interest. I feel that they were just like, all right, we don't need this kind of craziness. We don't. Time to wrap it up, move on. By the way, I do want to point this out though too, because this is the frustrating part of it all. You had him during the riots that were going on all over the country, George Floyd riots basically, that were going on, and he was sitting there going, "You start looting, they start shooting." He literally said that. That was one of his tweets. Then flash forward 8-9 months later, January 6th, he goes on camera and says, "You guys are special. We love you guys. We really appreciate you guys. But stop the violence." This is our commander in chief. This is our president. Same scenario, same kind of craziness that was going on. Does it make any sense? So suddenly, being somebody who is there, being somebody who is, if somebody was a watered down, very soft Trump supporter, they see that kind of act that's happening on Wednesday. Suddenly they're like, well, okay. Throwing their stuff away, throwing their support away and going, hey, let's see what Biden's got. He might be Sleepy Joe, but let's see what he got. T, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, from what I was reading on several social media outlets, even YouTube channels who kind of currently still are conservative or Republican, I seen after Wednesday a lot of commenters saying they were done with that actual party altogether, and that they were independent now, or that what they thought the party was is not because of the Blue Lives Matter confusion, with cops being hurt and killed, and that drew the line in the sand for many people who were with that party, but probably not diehard. And there's always levels of commitment with people. So those who are kind of like, it's not going so well with the election fraud, conspiracy, and also with how Trump responded or didn't respond to what happened last Wednesday. They pretty much left that party, at least on paper. But I don't know. It's tough because even when Charlottesville happened a few years ago, when Trump said there are good people on both sides, that should have been a clue right there. And you can't ignore people, when they say things. People, when they talk, listen, because he told you in your face how he felt.
Yeah. And
you can't ignore those things. And that empowered people. And that actually caused more extremists on both sides. We think about it. People went farther right and farther left. And we've seen this whole last summer, those two far groups, Antifa and BLM, or whoever you want to call them, Proud Boys, 3%ers, whoever they were on both sides, they had, wars or meetups all summer. And it continues online, through Twitter and Reddit and YouTube. So the divide is so wide right now. It's really hard to fix it overnight. It's going to be some time of healing has to take place. And to couple that with COVID, it's a recipe for disaster going forward.
Yes,
it's just this.
We
have never had a inauguration coincide with a impeachment ever. Right?
True.
So think about that. That's crazy to me. Or trying to remove a president before a week or two before the inauguration. I mean, these are things that never even make sense on paper. And it's happening right now in our country, and the whole world is watching us. So we're losing respect internationally. And how can we be the strongest nation in the world? And the whole mantra of MAGA, make America great again. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's like somebody trying to, sell you a used car. And that was like Trump. That shit's beat down. We don't want that car, but he's telling you no. It's 100% runs well. The AC is running. Everything's marketed on that car. But you can't put perfume on shit.
Facts.
You can't. It stinks. And people have to wake up and really look to see what people are telling you face value.
Yeah.
And fact check yourself. Don't look at Fox and CNN, but do your own fact checking online to see what is really going on behind the scenes. Because we all should be embarrassed, everybody.
Yeah.
Because we allow this all summer for this crap to happen, and then to end the year and to begin the new year with more crap happening. It's really sad to be here right now in this country. You know that we don't know who our leaders are going to be. Who's going to lead us to making this country better? Who? Because, you know, obviously those who really believe in the sabotage and the stop the steal, they believe it. Facts. I mean, they would die for that. So it's no way they want to support Kamala or Biden at all.
Yeah.
At all. So, you know, and it's scary because people need to be bipartisan or nonpartisan or whatever, and just, you know, support America. Maybe you can't change the government overnight. Maybe you can't change laws overnight, but you have to start locally. And if locally you're voting in people who you know are filled with hate or people who are treasonous within your local community, it's going to rise up to the states and then to the federal. Mm-hmm. So it's deep seated. It really is.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I'm seeing people's comments and everything. In Reagan Bites, I do read the comments, and I'm about to read one of yours. He said, or they said, let's talk about Maxine Waters' comments, calling people to go up to people and get in their faces and all that stuff. Okay, that's Maxine Waters. That's not the president. The president did say, hey, we're gonna march up there and we're gonna fight. We're going to basically get in their faces, and we're going to cheer on those senators that are trying to stop this steal. And what exactly happened? They did exactly that. They went up there and caused a ruckus. There's a difference. And the thing is like, I know somebody else said in here in the comments that, you know, I used to be so objective. I'm still objective. I'm still the most try to keep it as balanced as I can, but there's no way I can keep this whole side of this story balanced. It is all going too wrong. I'm sorry. When it comes to people getting hurt, when it comes to anything, and I've said it on multiple occasions before, if this was BLM, if this was Antifa, if this was Proud Boys, if this was just crazy right-wing freaking psychopaths, or just a bunch of crazy leftists, I'd still say that this situation was wrong. And President Trump has a wonderful, amazing tool that he has the ability to use. And it's called this thing that I'm using right now. He has the ability to use that as the most amazing weapon in the world. And he used it for the wrong on Wednesday. There's no reason for me to be objective over what Trump did on Wednesday. I'm sorry for saying that, but that's the truth, y'all. He's the most powerful voice in the world. He has the most powerful platform, the most powerful, most strongest microphone signal for the rest of the world to hear. And he uses it to stoke flames, to split the country apart. So much that it goes to a head on Wednesday and 5 people get killed. And multiple people are getting arrested, and some of them are in hiding. This is real talk. So much that we have congressmen that are being allegedly accused of treason right now because they were part of an inside job. Am I supposed to be objective? Well, they had their, they wanted to get their voices heard and all that stuff. No, people died. Straight up, people died, man. And I'd say the same thing if this was on the other foot. People freaking died. That's not how it's supposed to be. I'll be objective on so many other things. But when it comes to this situation and when you have the responsibilities that the president has, then you use those responsibilities wisely. He was childish with his responsibilities. And then when he had opportunities, as you saw in my pop-up videos, be sure to go and check them out, please. Shameless plug. But hey, those videos I just did back to back. And I sat there going, Hey, he's coming out live. He's going and talking to news people. He's actually going to the border and he's going in front of a microphone. This same powerful thing that he has, this powerful tool that he has. Is he going to say anything to save face? Something to bring this country back together. And what does he do? Not a damn thing. He blames coronavirus. He blames the vaccine. He talks about a whole bunch of trash, but he doesn't even try to say, hey guys, this whole thing was very, very wrong. Not once. The only thing he says is, violence is wrong. That's it? That's it? So I'm sorry if I'm not going to be objective on Trump and his BS. Trust me, if this was Obama, I'd say the same thing. I don't care. If it was my forever president, whoever that might be, I would still call him on his ish. Sorry, not sorry. But I want to point something out too, though. Last story while we wrap this up, because this is true. This is another story, and it's crazy as well. Because I want you guys to see this story too. It's funny how much we live in this world where wearing a mask is so politicized and so polarizing that a room full of congressmen, a room full of elected officials wouldn't dare, half the room wouldn't dare wear masks. And guess what happens? People get sick with the Rona. Congressmen are now getting diagnosed with the Rona now because they were all holed up in a room together and half of the room refused to wear a mask. I got to show you this video. It's ridiculous. This is actually happening live. This is actually happening during the time that they got all like pushed into a room together while the riots were happening. One of the congresswomen came up to another congressman and said, hey, do you mind wearing a mask? Because of course, we're in a room full of Democrats and Republicans. Check out this video. So, of course, you got a room full of people, feeling some type of way. Real talk. Sitting there, doing whatever they want to do. As you can see, some of these people, obviously, not wearing masks because they feel like what everybody else feels, like this is a bunch of horse-ish. But they're, trying to turn it into a political thing. This gentleman right here just said, hey, I'm not trying to make it political. I ain't trying to make it political, but, and guess what? There's 5 congressmen that were in this room now have the Rona because somebody else in that room had the Rona. Oh, there were also rioters that had the Rona, went into the building too, COVID positive. There's going to be a lot of people popping up with the Rona here very, very soon. All because they decided not to wear a mask or practice some sort of social distancing. And it sucks because they're obviously holed up in this room for safety and they have no other choice but to do that, right? As Shay just said, yeah, a COVID orgy. It's ridiculous. But that is real. That is very real. All because we got somebody who has made it a thing to be like, hey, this COVID thing is a hoax. It's all a lie. And people are still holding true to that. They're still holding on to it. We have a world, like Shay just said, we have no room for any more patience. Literally, we have no room for any more patience as well. Get it? And this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. T, what are your thoughts?
How about this? Everyone who is adamant about being an anti-masker, or those who speak of a pandemic, and when I mean a pandemic, I guess it means that those who think it's not real. How about all of you guys volunteer to help bathe and serve food to those who are sick with COVID in hospitals? How about that? Without a mask or gloves. Let's see how long you'll stay healthy. I'm trying to figure it out. If everything is so fake and it's not real, and Trump said it's not, whoever said it's not real, whoever your talking piece is that you believe, go volunteer. Be a good old American, and just go volunteer for your fellow American at a hospital. You know, any sick kids with COVID, do that. Bathe them, serve them food, read them stories. See how long you'll last. That's it.
You know, see, and that's the thing. Like we've had this conversation, I think, for even before you became a co-host on this show. You know what I mean? This is a ongoing broken record story where it's like, hey, y'all, hey, we all need to do what we need to do. I understand that even if they were all in a closed room and all that, yeah, they could have just taken the incentive to just put on a freaking mask and just call it a day. But there's a lot of people that are just stuck on their thoughts because they've been listening to their leader. They've been listening to, I'm sorry, he is our leader for at least, well, soon to be 7 more days. He's our leader for 7 more days. And they're listening to him because people need to lean to somebody who's telling them what's right and what's wrong. Unfortunately, we're listening to one guy who he's got his right and wrongs wrong, all jostled up and, flipped around. And that's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I do want to pull up.
I agree. But real quick, I think that
Sure.
Anybody who believes in different spiritual texts, many of the stories talk about the end of days where what was right becomes wrong, and what is wrong becomes right. And we all grew up with morals based off our family structure, mom and dad, grandparents, our community. We were raised by people with some good sense. Hopefully we were. What happened to that sense as people? What happened to morals? What happened to accountability? What happens to, taking something, and thinking about it critically and going, okay, let me figure this out. Like, all that's gone, I think. I think we just we're all clickbaitish, and we're all about instant, what we want as people. We're being selfish as a people. We have to go back and use what we were taught as children and use that as adults just to balance out life. We can't just go with straight emotions about, what we think is right in terms of things that make no sense at all. I mean, a lot of things are just questionable, and people are just not sticking to the upbringings in terms of the good upbringings, of course, of what is right and what's wrong, and with people and unity and love and relationships or whatever it may be. We're just raging mouthpieces of ignorance. We are.
Sorry, it's just,
my side versus your side.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's you want the future to be better if your side wins. But it's not about sides. We should stick to truth and what's right for everybody. But people lost all that, seems like, overnight.
Yeah, it's been something in the works for the past 4 years, but if you really think about it, it's been going on forever. This deep-seated feeling of what's going on in the world. I think that there is people that have been dormant with their rage for a very, very long time. And finally they had somebody that was speaking on behalf of them. And they felt, like I've said a million times before, they felt emboldened. They felt like they had a right to speak their mind, a right to be out and exposed, to say whatever they want to say, however they want to say it. I can't wait till the moment that, I feel that I do feel that the votes were not stolen. I feel like it was legitimate. I think that good overcame evil. I think the people spoke and said that they were tired of the BS, that they were tired of the negativity, that there's a desperate need for change. And that's what I think it had happened. I think that if Trump was there for another term, what we saw on Wednesday would have happened within his 4 years. And it would have been even much more violent, for sure. It would have been much worse than what it is right now. Most definitely. He's a man with a lot of power. And he's somebody who has been working on his power and the power of his brand and the power of persuasion. He is a natural born salesman. And people ate that stuff up for decades. That was something that was in the works. He was working his way into everybody, ingraining his name and his face into everybody's DNA. Bruh, we had rap songs about him. People were literally glorifying his name. So then when he finally ran, man, yes, black community was like, well, most of the black community was like, he hates black people. He's a racist. Because people finally saw who he was and what he stood for. But the white community saw, or, I'm not trying to say that it's only just the white community, but, majority white people still was looking at his lavish lifestyle of the rich and famous. Trump, his casinos slathered in gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were eating up his stuff for decades, buying his brand, watching his shows, eating up the Trump brand. So when he finally came in, boom, everyone's like, yes, we need a change. We need a rock star. He going to come in. He going to be a cowboy. He's going to be a rock star. That's why everybody voted for him. But then next thing you know, he starts pumping in all of his stuff. You got to put in there too. You got mainstream media putting in their own 2 cents about Trump. But Trump isn't really going against the grain of what mainstream media is saying out there too. Then slowly, as the years go by, he's starting to even expose his ass even more. There's good people on both sides. Both sides. What? And it continues on and on and on. The greatest way that he could have showed himself to show that he was a diplomatic human being, that he was a well thought out human being. You want to know where it was? At the penultimate moment of his term, when he found out he lost. He could have used that moment to say, hey, congratulations to Joe Biden. It was a great year, or it was a great run. It was a great term. I'll see you guys in 2024. Keep a lookout. He could have gone out like a true G, but he didn't. He went out like a freaking child. Then next thing you know, this spoiled brat of a child gets his Atari taken away from him. Twitter. He gets his playthings taken away from him. So he starts acting a fool even more. And instead, like I said, instead of walking up to those news reporters when he was about to get on the plane to fly out to Texas to check out his new wall that he just erected, he goes, our freedom of speech is being taken advantage of. Big tech is our problem now. Excuse me? He literally is sitting there going, when am I getting my Atari back? When am I getting my PS5 back? Because I want to play. And I've been grounded long enough. He could have gone up there and said, hey, I've learned my lesson. But he didn't. He didn't. Then he went down there, spoke again, and he still didn't do anything. He still didn't say anything about it. I'd like to briefly talk about the events of last week. Coronavirus. What? So you're telling me that was coronavirus that made everybody go crazy on the steps and kill people and kill a cop?
Deflection.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is he's amazing at it. If you watch my pop-up video where I watched his speech, there's a moment where he's feeling, you could tell there's no response. Like he's talking to the crowd, but people aren't responding. And there was one moment where he just looks down at a person. Because, he's obviously looking off into the sea of people, looking at some trees in the background. Oh, yes, this wall is it's amazing. Just tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. You feel like a winner? Yeah, you feel like a winner, don't you? Like, that's literally what he does. Because he realized no one's connecting to what he's saying. No one.
It's almost like somebody who's like a comedian stand-up, and his jokes are just bombing. And he go, hey, ladies in the house, so beautiful tonight. One of those distractions to get everybody brought back in again. He is a master persuader. I mean, he definitely knows what to say and how to say it. And again, I don't think anybody would say he's not entertaining. He is. He's entertaining. He was like the WWE, kind of entertainer. He just steals the show. He's very charismatic in ways. And he talks a big talk because he's always got his way. Always. Even when he went bankrupt a few times, he always found a way back. He does exemplify traits that are admirable in a way, but if it's used for evil, then forget all that. Yeah, out the window with that. But so I mean, it's funny because once you start seeing, like, I think that there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people out here that are seeing his true colors now. They're finally seeing the truth. And now they're going, I'm not listening to this BS anymore. I'm done listening to this BS. I'm done. And me too. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I've seen enough. Wednesday was enough. By the way, speaking of Wednesday, this is a very important piece of information I want to show you guys, because this is also breaking, and it was taken down off of the internet and off of Twitter. I don't know why it was taken off of the internet, but this is a very important piece. Brian Sicknick was the officer that was bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher, guys. And the thing is people are running around trying to find who the man is. Find the ID of the person that actually may have killed him with this fire extinguisher. I actually have the photo of this man. Here he is. This is the man that allegedly bludgeoned Officer Brian Sicknick, to death. So I want to make sure that this face, as you can see, you see the fire extinguisher. You see you see what he's wearing. You see that it matches the same kind of flannel pattern, that paneled pattern jacket that he's wearing right now. In his hand is the red fire extinguisher that he allegedly used to beat that poor officer to death. Hold up.
Yep.
His hat. Look at his hat.
Yep.
CFD.
It's
a fire department hat.
Yep. I'm seeing somebody commenting here, California Fire Department hat, but I don't know if it's a California. Wouldn't it be like the city he's from, like Cincinnati Fire Department, Chicago, or Cleveland, Chicago? Well, I mean, this is kind of a Chicago-ish. It's like, like Chicago Bears type of color, right?
Yeah.
So this might be Chicago. There you go. So that might be Chicago Fire Department. But this could very well be the man that bludgeoned this man to death, this officer to death on the steps of the Capitol building. So I wanted to make sure that this was seen, because this was actually shared by one of the senators. I don't remember. Bill Cassidy, Senator Bill Cassidy, had shared this, and then it got immediately ripped down. Somehow somebody reposted it or found the photo and reposted it on Twitter. Thank God. If anyone knows this man's face or anyone knows this man's name, please tell your local authorities or the powers that be, because we need to bring this man to justice. We need to find the person who did that heinous and grisly act on the steps of the Capitol building. So there you guys go. There he is in all his glory. Isn't it wonderful how dumb these people are? I'm sorry. That's how thankful I am about this, because there's going to be so many people in jail and thrown in prison because of the crazy stuff that they did, and they wanted to be seen. They wanted their faces to be seen, because I don't know why. Look at this guy
who had their job ID badges on. I heard, right? You hear that before?
Dude, like I was telling you about the ex-wife. The ex-wife ID'd him through the badges and all the stuff that he had on his body. Real talk.
That's crazy.
That's insane. And these people
You know what's crazy?
Go ahead.
Even crazier is that the apologists were saying, no, that's not us. That's not Magma. That's Antifa dressed as us in front of the crowd.
Crazy,
No,
right?
I don't think so.
Crazy, right?
I don't think so.
Just absolutely freaking bonkers, man. And that, I'm sorry, just people don't think outside. Like, all those people that got together and just ran and did that thing weren't thinking, obviously. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. Oh boy. The stupidity is like overwhelming, to be really honest. So I have to wrap up this show. But I wanted to say real quick, everybody who's watching right now, please crush the like button. You know what I mean? Please, I see a lot of you guys. I see a bunch of people on here. And, the like button is nowhere near where it should be, I feel. If you don't mind giving us some love, giving the show some love, that would be great. Went a little bit longer than expected because, I mean, the internet just short-circuited on me. But I appreciate all y'all for coming back on and being a part of the discussion today. If things were different, I'd be singing a different tune right now about our president. And for a fact that I'm somebody, for those of y'all who don't know a lot about me, I try to keep an even keel on this show. But when you got somebody who's been caught red-handed, it's hard to try to find reasons around things. I'm sorry. It's really almost impossible. And this guy has done some really bad things. And hopefully we won't see much more craziness. Hopefully we don't see any more violence and mayhem. I really hope there won't be. But for a fact that I will be on live when things start popping off, if anything starts popping off. Oh, and for a fact I'm going to be streaming live the inauguration day, because you never know what might pop off during that inauguration. Let's keep it straight funky. So just be on the lookout for that as well. By the way, guys, please, if you guys are watching this for the first time, Kasim, thank you so much. You already liked the video. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? Milligram Smile 442. Please, thank you so much for being on the show. Marin, thank you for being on. Panda Loco, thank you. Thank you. Kiss, what's up, man? Thank you so much, my brother. Mary, thank you so much for being on. And everybody else I may have missed. Queen Adia, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate everybody who's watching and being a part of the conversation. And of course, T and David had to leave, but I really do appreciate y'all coming on and chopping it up with me. But for a fact that I'm going to be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, so be on the lookout for that. And there will be a night show tomorrow night, so be on the lookout for that at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow morning, I do have somebody at 10 a.m., an actress. She did a really, really funny series of skits that have been shared on Baller Alert, World Star, you name it. And they're really, really funny little skits. And she's coming on, and all of her skits have been pertaining to the riots that have been going on. And they're really funny. I know that sounds weird for me to say with all how bad everything's been. She is actually, what she did is really, really funny. And I'll be showing those on tomorrow. That's what I just said. Tomorrow. So not like riot skits, but they're like, you know what? Let me show it to you guys. Let me show you one. So you get an idea of what I'm talking about. I think I sent myself one. Yep, I did. Okay. All right. So here is the skit, and this is what they showed on. They have on Baller Alert right now. And she's getting, it's been getting a lot of hits. It's been going crazy. Police stopping Trump supporters at the Capitol building. And it's just funny.
What are you doing here? You can't come in here. No, you can't come in. Stop it. You're not allowed in here. You're not allowed. You can't come in. Stop it. Let's get out of here. Go. Come on, no, go home. Get home. You have to leave.
So she has a whole series of these videos right now, and they're just going crazy. I mean, she's got a whole, like, she's already gone into her second season of these, like, police mistress. Like, the mistress is the police, and the Trump supporter obviously is the camera, and it's some really funny stuff. So
Panda.
I know, I'm just reading Panda's comment, bruh. Well, no, but she's really, really funny, and yeah, she's got a gang of stuff, and so she's gonna be coming on. Her name is Moira. She'll be on tomorrow to talk about what got her to come up with this crazy idea of the police being the mistress. I'm sorry, it's literally called, the series I think is called Police Mistress. And she's already in her second season. And I mean, this literally happened 3 days ago, and she's now in the second season already. That's how hard and fast she's been working. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, literally. But she's got some really funny stuff. So she's going to be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. To chop it up and talk about this whole thing. Should be a really good time. You know what I mean? And get ready to get some good laughs in. You know what I mean? She's a very funny girl. Anyway, I got to get going, guys. I really do appreciate y'all. You guys are all incredible. Definitely thank you so much for hitting the likes and all that. I do appreciate it. Appreciate that. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well, please. It'd be really great to have you on. We're working our way towards 20,000. 20,000 subscribers. Wow, I can't even believe I'm saying that now.
20K.
20K, baby. 20K, baby. And it feels so damn freaking good, man. It feels good. We've been working hard, man. You know what I mean? We've been working hard out in these streets, man. Working hard. And so yes, when we get to 20,000, I'm gonna be very happy, and I'm probably gonna be doing something very, very cool, like a very dope giveaway or something. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very, very excited. And Zozo Bob, yes, I remember when we were at 10,000 as well. I remember when I was at 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And that was a long time ago. But we will most likely pop champagne at 20,000. I'm just gonna keep it straight funky with you, okay? But anyway, I love all you guys, every single one of y'all. You know, I just want to make sure that everybody knows this is a forum. This is a chat room that we all can get our voices heard. We can all talk about things. And I don't want you guys to get it twisted. I don't want you guys to forget that, you know, we're trying to do as much as we can to keep an even keel on this platform. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are dope. stay positive out there, okay? And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. early. All right? This is the Pascal Show. Bye. Mr. Bojangles. You know what I'm saying? He straight up did look like, he looked like Sammy Davis Jr. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just saying, hey, babe. Shop, boing, boing, boing. Deuces.
So glow.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.